Pleasant afternoon, colleague and viewers. My name is Robert Lewis, and I am presently pursuing the master's degree program at the Grand Canyon University, and my major is special education. Now, in the course U.S. and Arizona Constitution, code POS 500, we are currently studying the topic initiatives and referendum in the Arizona Constitution. Let's get some definitions out of the way. First, Constitution is defined as the fundamental law of the United States federal government, and these highlighting the three principal branches of the federal government and the roles they play. Now, each state has their own constitution, and Arizona is no exception. So, Arizona Constitution was first signed on December 9th, 1910. Importantly, initiatives and referendum are the backbone of Arizona's constitution. So let us define initiative and referendum. Initiative is the method by which voters may propose new law or amend existing laws by gathering signatures from registered voters to place the issue on the ballot. The referendum, on the other hand, is the power reserved to the voters that allow the voters by petition to demand reconsideration or repeal of any legislative action of the city council. In other words, they have the right to veto any law by gathering signatures from the registered voters. How was a initiative and referendum created? In a direct initiative, a measure is put directly to a referendum. The proposal may be on a proposed federal level, statute, constitutional amendment, charter amendment, or local ordinance, and these are communicated, right, to the executive or legislator to consider the subject by submitting it to the order of the day. Therefore, the proposers have 131 days before the next state election to make their proposal. Referendum, on the other hand, the counties in the state have 30 working days to complete a random sample of 3% of 500 registered voters' signatures and report their results to the Secretary of State. If the statewide random sample total projects more than 110% of the required amount of signatures, the referendum would be qualified for the ballot. Now let us compare and contrast initiative and referendum. Now both required the voters' some signatures to be effective, and both employed the direct democratic system. In both of them, citizens take active roles in a democratic legislative process. The contrast, now for initiative. One, it allows the public to propose a new statute. Two, citizens draft the proposal and petition to add it to the ballot. Three, they also vote on it. Contrast for referendum, it originates with the government. And two, legislator submits this legislation to the people for approval. Three, it also allows voters to uphold or repeal law passed by the legislature. Let us look now at the pros and the cons of initiative and referendum in the Arizona Constitution. For initiative, the pros are: one, it keeps checks on the legislators' activities. It forces legislators to address issues. And three, it makes legislators more responsive. Now for the disadvantages, initiative statutes can be unconstitutional. It can also, number two, at times enable the tyranny of the majority. Hence, the right of the unpopular minority can be hindered. Number 3, law can be meaningless and ineffective if they lack expertise in drafting up at times. Let us look at the pros and cons for referendum. Now, for the pros for referendum, 1, it promotes transparency between the citizens and the government. 2, society's progression relies more on the people. And 3, advanced government accountability by we the people voicing concern is a direct fashion. For the cons or the disadvantages, 1, for referendum, state policy can be very good but can't be approved. Citizens play a vital role. 2, only approved by the majority of registered voters, while classified minorities are left out at times. 3, sometimes voters' requirement on the referendum ballot paper can be outrageous. Finally, let's look at how the initiative and referendum support the idea of democracy as outlined in the Arizona Constitution. So 1, it creates an equilibrium between the voters and the legislators. 2, political machine and stakeholders are held under tight scrutiny. 3, citizens are able to make proposals and vote for or against such proposals. 3, citizens are empowered to voice their ideas. 5, citizens are able to veto legislation by the state. And 6, the right of vote by the state and the citizens are highlighted. Thank you very much. And I hope you are being edified. I have been.